Step aside, partner, it's my day. Bend an ear and listen to my version of a really solid Tennessee excursion. Pardon me, boy, is that the Chattanooga choo-choo?
Yes, yes, track 29.
Boy, you can give me a shine.
Early video games like Pong were totally unisex.
Which is neither good nor bad.
Am I a boy dot or a girl dot?
You're just a dot.
Ow, 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 ow.
In fact, the game was marketed to the entire family.
But why were they targeted at entire families originally and not specifically at children as children's toys? The Atari 2600, for instance, originally launched with a price in 1977 of $199, which doesn't sound so bad until you realize it was 1977, and in today's cash, that would be $786. You obviously can't take something that costs that much money, which practically is in all effects a luxury item at that point, and say, oh yeah, this is just for kids. This is a kid's toy. No one's going to spend that kind of money on a kid's toy. The Magnavox Odyssey, that released in 1972, the original retail price of that, well, it was $99. 99 didn't sound like that much now, but after inflation, it's $567 for a console. From 1994, a recent-ish example is Sony's first PlayStation. That launched in 94 at a $300 price tag. Adjusted for inflation, it's $487 today. Definitely not nearly as egregious, but still, it happens. In fact, the marketing towards the family was why some things even got their name. The family computer, for instance. Where do you think the words Famicom came from? The Famicom was the precursor to the Nintendo Entertainment System that was released over here. In fact, it sold 34 million units, but back to the video.
What about Pac-Man? He was a boy.
True, but the game was so popular with women that when it came time for a sequel, the developers gave it a female main character, Ms. Pac-Man.
So, regardless of the fact that Pac-Man was an obvious male protagonist in early gaming, women still made up a huge percentage of the player base. It's almost like women are individual human beings capable of making choices and enjoying media despite the gender of the player character. Remember this for later.
Aw, yeah, I'm spooky.
Not Mrs., Ms. She was a modern 80s career woman.
I have an MBA in eating ghosts.
The 80s equivalent of gender studies.
Waka 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 waka.
Ah! She's so confident.
Oh, but now when you show proud, confident women in video games, it's sexist anyway. You can't win with these people. I swear to God. You can't win. Don't even try.
And not only was much of the audience female, many of the developers were too.
God, it's like women are people or something with agency and personal choice, who can do whatever they want to do if they put their mind to it.
Among the stars of early game design were Atari's Carol Shaw, Centipede creator Donna Bailey, and Roberta Williams, an adventure game pioneer and company co-founder, whose King's Quest series was a massive hit among gamers of all stripes.
And now, when you ask people what the most predominant female figures related to video games are, they'll say, Nita Sarkeesian. We all know who she is, and everyone loves her. We also have Arthur Chu. He's best known for some of the work that... Wait, what? He's not? No way. You sure? Okay. Alright, so I've just been told that Arthur Chu actually isn't female. So, yeah, Brianna Wu. If you don't know who Brianna Wu is, she made a game on Steam and literally harassed herself, but forgot she was logged in as a developer because she has to have people harass her or else her narrative doesn't work. I mean, that's the kind of person that she is. Anyway, yeah, nowadays, these are the female names associated with gaming. Not women who saw something they wanted to do and went out and they did it, and they didn't let what anyone else said about them stop them. This is something they wanted to do. Women are just as capable as men are at making video games if they want, despite what these losers with a victimization complex tell you.
Cool, seems like everything's great. Can I play my game now?
Nope, because all of that changed thanks to the video game crash of 1983. Greedy publishers started flooding the market with shoddy games like I Want My Mommy, Lost Luggage, and E.T. for the Atari 2600. which has been called one of the worst games of all time.
That part is true. That game is really bad. That could have been an amazing game, timeless, one that could have lasted through the ages, one we would still talk about to this day because of how groundbreaking it was. If they had changed basically everything in the game and had different people make it, and it was the complete polar opposite of what it ended up being.
Yuck! I'll play anything, and even I know that's a turd.
Most adults stopped playing games entirely, and the video game market cratered. So when it came time to market the original Nintendo Entertainment System, Nintendo devised a plan. Instead of selling it in the electronics section, they sold it in the toy aisle.
You know, because adults weren't playing video games.
But by then, the toy aisle was completely separated into pink and blue, boy and girl.
Well, yeah, because boys and girls like different toys. Boys like superheroes and action figures and baseball bats, and girls like ponies and unicorns and plush animals and volleyballs and princesses, dolls, strawberry shortcake and brats and Barbies and coloring books and crayons. I mean, I grew up with two little sisters. I mean, I know all about this shit. I can probably recite the entire Lion King 2 script from memory. We had to hide the VHS tape in the closet. Where's the Lion King 2? And we'd say, oh, keep looking. It's out there somewhere. I'm sure you'll find it. Keep looking. Well, we knew it was like in the back of a closet with bricks on top of it and purity seals in a locked metal box with booby traps.
Nintendo had to choose a side. They went with boy, and then they marketed to those boys relentlessly.
And if they put it in the girl aisle, they would market it to girls relentlessly. You see, based on the other kinds of toys in those sections, Nintendo obviously felt that it fit in with those toys better. They had to make a marketing decision which one of these two genders would buy the product more, or that parents would buy for whatever gender their kid was.
What's it like to play the Nintendo Entertainment System? Now you're playing with power.
Other brands soon followed suit.
Introducing Game Gear from Saga that separates the men from the boys.
Yeah, I know you included that clip for a reason, because you wanted to, I don't know, maybe make it seem like it was bad for them to say, well, boys want to be men. Well, newsflash, boys do want to be men. Okay? A boy wants to be a man. Kids tell their kid, oh, you're a big boy now. Whee! They're excited. Kids want to be men. They look up to men. They look up to their fathers and their superstar heroes, and they want to be like them. They want to be like G.I. Joe. They want to be like Magic Johnson. They want to grow up to be their idols, their pop stars. Of course, they're going to say it separates the men from the boys. It's part of the colloquial slang now.
And kept marketing to them as they grew up.
Wilt thou save the girl or play like a girl? No one wants to play like a girl. What's one of the most common playground insults growing up? Well, back in my day. I say back in my day. I'm only 24. But people would always say, you kick a ball like a girl. You run like a girl. You hit like a girl. That wasn't a compliment. Girls are weaker than boys. There's an exception. Hashtag not all. I get it. But as sexually dimorphic animals, people, humans have stronger males than females. Strength is a desirable trait. You want to be strong. That is why the ideal male physique has a strong bodybuilder with, he's fucking ripped and he's got big ass arms and a neck as strong as a fucking oak tree or something. You want to be strong, and if you're targeting something towards boys, you want to say, don't be like the girls. You want to be a man. This game, this will separate the men from the boys. You'll be manly if you buy this. When in reality, video games are the ultimate meritocracy. Video games are a medium where men and women can compete against one another, and neither gender has an appreciable advantage. But again, if you're marketing to boys who want to be men, you're not going to say, yeah, video games will put you on the same level as women, because it's an equalizer. Like a Glock.
It's not the size of your howitzer, it's what you do with it.
Well, yeah, of course they made a commercial that said that. It doesn't make any sense to say that to a girl. Because girls don't have penises. Because it's not how big your dick is, it's how you use it. Some of us just know how to use our big-ass dicks.
Got this pulling a 360 stale fish.
Yeah, again, we're marketing to men here. Men like to do stunts in outdoor sports. They like to show off their finesse on the snowboard or on the skateboard or on the bike or whatever they're doing. And it's like a badge of honor to men, especially growing up, to get a scar doing something that you're proud of. Plus, a lot of chicks dig guys with scars. It's like, hey, check it out. I got injured right here. I hurt myself doing something awesome, and I didn't flinch because I'm tough.
I know you like that. I know you love that.
It's all about the control.
You are so totally whipped.
Come and play with me.
I mean, yeah, just basic advertising towards boys. And yet, somehow, there was nothing in any of those advertisements that actually prohibited women from buying video games. In the same way, nothing prohibits a young boy from going to the girl section and buying a Barbie or a makeup kit or anything of that nature. There's nothing stopping a girl from buying a product that's being advertised to boys. I mean, especially for young kids, the other gender is icky. Where do you think cooties came from? Girls are nasty and gross and boys are icky. Snakes and snails and puppy dog tails, remember? Girls are sugar and spice and everything nice.
And after decades of this kind of advertising,
what's up, bitch?
We now think of video games as being the exclusive domain of the male sex.
Bullshit, Adam. Bullshit. You're just like BuzzFeed, you're just like Salon, you're just like Vox, you're MTV, all over. You're the exact same thing, you just have a stupid-ass haircut. In the time that this video has been up, it has been viewed a massive amount of times. It's just short of 2,200,000 views. Obviously, there's a pretty sizable chunk that has disliked the video. And judging from the nature of the comments in the comments section, it's very easy to see why gamers, actual gamers, not to stir up the pot of no true Scotsman here, but the true gamers who play video games seriously, who treat them as a legitimate hobby that they enjoy, that they sit down and play, you can definitely see their frustration there. And it's easy to see why people would be frustrated if you play video games and some guy like Adam says that we think of video games as exclusively male, which is bullshit. First off, who is we, Adam? When you say we think of video games as exclusively male, who is we? Who is this we you are referring to? Because it's not me. It's not people I know. It's not gamers that I play with. This kind of attitude makes me think you're just like what's-his-face from Cracked.com, the dude who said he was a gamer, but he went on all these ridiculous stereotypes about gamers that just aren't true. It kind of pisses me off. Here you are showing 2 million, almost 200,000 people, and going out there and you're telling them, yeah, gamers think that games aren't for girls. When that is patently, blatantly, and demonstrably untrue. How is it demonstrably untrue? Let me show you, Adam. Now, in the grand scheme of things, on the big pond full of fish that is the YouTube.com box on the interweb screen, I only have about 160,000 subs. It's not big when you take it all into context, but it's big enough, you see. It's big enough it allows me to get things like sample sizes up fairly high. And so when I saw this video for the first time and you uttered these ridiculously, blatantly false words to 2.2 million people, the first thing that popped into my head was how quickly I would be able to disprove this with only the knowledge of being an actual gamer who lives on the inside and not from the outside looking in. So I asked everybody what they thought. Who are video games for? I asked them and got 2,850 responses. Are video games for men? Are they for women? Or are they for everybody? Gamers, basically. Well, the response was pretty clear. When you actually talk to gamers, Adam, which might not be something you consider doing, the results are extremely clear. Gamers think video games are for everybody. As I've said before and will continue to say, video games are perhaps the ultimate meritocracy. It does not matter your race, your age, your sex, your gender. It doesn't matter your nationality, your religion, your ethnic background. Everybody can come together and play a video game, and the best man will win. Or woman. End of list, because there are only 2 genders. You see, Adam, you're just like Cracked.com. You're on the outside and you're looking in, and you're going to tell us all what you think you see. You're going to go with the stereotypes that you've heard. You walked into this convinced that video gamers just hate the girls, and if there is a woman playing a video game, they are ostracized and not allowed to play. Look at the image you used in the video. You have 3 boys playing a video game together, and a girl walks in, but she's blocked by somebody who says, "Oh, I'm sorry, you have to have a penis to play video games. Only boys are allowed in this tree fort. No girls allowed." You're trying to paint a narrative with this imagery. And it directly contrasts with what you said earlier that I said to remember, how Pac-Man, even though it had a male protagonist, it was overwhelmingly enjoyed by female gamers. So apparently, by your own admission, there isn't anything stopping women from playing video games, regardless of who the protagonist is, and regardless of who the marketing is directed towards. You're spreading the false narrative that gamers hate women when it is patently, and as I said, demonstrably untrue. Even if we gave ourselves a 30% margin of error, it still wouldn't be close. People said, "Rags, is this poll a joke?" Video games are for anyone who wants to play them. For gamers, we can all come together and agree on some rules and play with them.
Okay, those ads are weird, but
If you're trying to get young men to get interested in your product, those commercials aren't weird at all.
boys just like video games more than girls do.
Sorry, Jake, that's a straight-up myth.
No, Adam, you're wrong again. Holy shit. You would think that with all this time and effort that goes into your graphics and your little videos, you maybe could put aside just a little bit of time to actually look at the numbers. So let me do your job for you, Adam, because you suck at it so much. Like, I'm just a dude with a dog picture on the internet, and I do this as a hobby, and I'm going to explain to you why you are wrong, okay? Let us begin. What is a gamer? Who considers themselves a gamer? Who considers what people are gamers? This is kind of the crux of the idea. When people say gamer, what do they mean? So Polygon, take it for what it is. Polygon had a survey that said half of Americans play games, but only 10% say that they are gamers. How very interesting. Gamers themselves don't even know what they mean when they say gamers, because it's different for a lot of people. Most, I would say, just playing mobile games does not make you a gamer. Sitting down for 5 minutes to do a level in Bejeweled doesn't make you a gamer. You're not a gamer if you don't buy a console or play games on your PC, have some sort of a device that you have to play video games. Everyone has a smartphone these days, so just putting Candy Crush on your smartphone and playing it every once in a while, that doesn't mean you're a gamer. I'm not saying that to belittle them or to insult them. The same way that making a bowl of cereal doesn't make you a cook. Yes, you're technically putting ingredients together to make a dish that you eat, but no one considers that you being a chef, or sorry, you being a cook. Telling all your loser friends on Facebook that you want to give out extra shovels for Farmville, that doesn't make you a gamer. You're not a gamer. You're someone who plays, in the most technical sense of the word, an electronic game on a device that you had anyway. This is, however, different for PCs because even though a lot of people already have laptops and PCs, there's a difference between a computer that you have for work or for surfing the web or just general multimedia entertainment and one that you use for playing PC games. It's weird I have to bring that up, but I'm sure someone will be anal, but I guess it's good people are actually listening. Going back to the gamer thing, there was an article I found while looking up information on mobile games. From the Daily Mail, how women blow 400,000 pounds a day playing Candy Crush, the most addictive online game ever. Talks about girls playing Candy Crush. Down there's a part that says, one 23-year-old London resident told the Arab News that she enjoyed Candy Crush, but emphatically stated she was not a gamer. It's probably because she doesn't want to be associated with the gamer term, Because Adam makes videos like these that demonize us, that say we hate women, that they're not allowed to come into our hobby. This data from the Pew Research Center will show that 72% of teenagers play video games, 84% of boys play them, and 59% of girls play them. In fact, the boys' demographic, ages 13 to 17, definitely plays more games. Girls of the same age bracket play around 20% less. Plus, boys are substantially more likely than girls to report access to a gaming console, 91% compared to the 70% of girls. So the marketing towards boys can be seen here. Boys like video games more. They are more likely to get them and play them and buy them. There is nothing keeping a girl from doing it. Boys just like it more. Just like how girls like ponies and dresses more. Especially as youths, boys and girls just like different things. It's not bad, it's just the difference between the genders. And there is certainly nothing wrong with a girl wanting to play video games.
More adult women play video games than teenage boys do.
Sweet.
That's just counting stupid phone games.
So? Games are games, Jake.
Now, remembering that Adam, for some weird reason, is putting mobile games you can play casually on your phone with the same level as console or PC games, I mean, that's what he does, because that's what you have to do to make the narrative work. Keeping that in mind, and keeping also in mind that there are more women than men on the Earth, and in the United States, 50.8% of the population is female. Adding to that, a Washington Post report that shows that the percentage of teens in the United States is at a record low, at around only about 10% of the total population being teens. It actually kind of makes sense and shouldn't really surprise you. But recall this. You're taking two different demographics that are insanely different in their scope and size. One of these demographics is teenage boys, so less than half the population for only 6 years of their life, 13 to 19 years old. You're comparing that with the majority of the population, all ages, 18, and until they die. There are way more adult females than there are teenage boys. Add to that the fact that Adam puts mobile games like Candy Crush and Bejeweled on the same level as console and PC games that, gamers play. That's how you can get articles like this. According to The Guardian, 52% of gamers are women, but the industry just doesn't know it. Which is weird because they would be the first to know because, they're the ones who are getting the money from it. And industries have to know a lot about demographics to know who to appeal to and who to market to. I mean, these basic stuff. It's just normal standard fare for business. You may say 52% of gamers are women. Well, remember that the opening image is two chicks playing on a smartphone? Because again, you have to include mobile games on a smartphone to come up with this 52% number. And when it comes to things like Call of Duty and Xboxes, PlayStations, PC games, it ain't even close. The article says, which begs a broader question. Are more women playing mobile games because women are more interested in mobile games? Or is it because they have been told over and over again that proper games are not for them? That more broadly, video games are not for them? Okay, I'm going to be quite frank with you, alright? If you want to do something, and someone says that it's just not for you, and you don't do it, that means you didn't want to do that thing. You just thought you did. Let's say this scenario is actually a thing that happened, and I'm sure you could probably find an example somewhere out there if you look hard enough. If a girl goes to the game section, and she goes and buys an Xbox, and she brings it to the cashier, and the cashier says, "Oh, don't you know Xboxes are for boys?" And she doesn't buy it, that means she didn't really want to play Xbox. Because one person was able to completely and 100% dissuade her from buying that Xbox, just from a passing comment. And if you think that women are like that, well, maybe you should Google the soft bigotry of low expectations and learn something. The reason that adult women play these games more and have such an interest in mobile games is because they're quick, they're casual, they're easy, they're stimulating for small periods of time, they fit well into schedules. They can play it between classes at school. They can play it while they're sitting on the tube. They can be playing it a little bit while they're watching their kids, while they're waiting for something to cook, while they're doing anything like that. The women have busy lives because, you know, they're people. They do stuff. And especially for adult-aged women who have lives, casual games that are quick and easily accessible on a device they have anyway that they can carry around with them wherever they go, well, it just fits them better. My mom was crazy into Doodle Jump when it came out. I had an aunt who was crazy about, it was like a Bejeweled spin-off game. I don't know what it was called, but she played it all the time. But tell them to go play an Xbox or a PlayStation or on a PC, and they'd be like, no, it's not my thing. I'd have no interest in that. If you go to the comments of this article, you get the same comments you get on every single article about this kind of data. Every single one, I'm serious. If there were comments on it, then they had the same kind of comment as you see here. 52% of women play games, but 52% of women are gamers? If you count someone who plays Candy Crush on their iPhones as a gamer, sure, I don't. The majority of people don't. Even the self-titled lads of the world who play exclusively FIFA and Call of Duty are more gamers than someone picking up an iOS game every so often. This is a fantastic comment, and it was the highest rated comment that was on this article, for which there were many, 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 many comments. He ends it very excellently. Let women do what they want to do. There is absolutely nothing stopping them from working on the games industry. There's no glass ceiling in working in games other than learning programming and level design. If women want to work in it, they can work in it. If they don't, that is their decision. Women decide to play mobile games almost exclusively a lot of the times. I mean, one might even say it's almost a little sexist that you're not respecting the decisions that women make as to what games they play. Just saying, bruv. Another comment I found really excellent. If they can make more money out of designing games for a purely female audience, they will. If they won't, they won't. The article does say it's a problem that only 12% of game designers are women. But gamers are asking, why is that a problem? Is it only right when it's exactly 50-50? What if women don't decide to go into these positions? As it was said before, there's no glass ceiling here. There's nothing stopping them. This comment here, I think there is a difference between playing Candy Crush for 5 minutes on the train when you have nothing else to do, and going out to spend 350 pounds on a console. I think that's the line between gamers and non-gamers. And I think a lot of us would probably agree to that as gamers ourselves. I assume a lot of the people watching this are gamers. It's sort of the shtick of the channel. There's nothing wrong with only playing casual games on your phone. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But you're not a gamer if that's what you do. You have to conflate someone who plays exclusively casual games on their phone as gamers, quote-unquote gamers, if you want these numbers to work in your favor. And that's not being honest, is it, Adam?
All that means is that mainstream consoles like PS4 and Xbox One are refusing to serve a huge untapped market.
Untapped market.
I remember when I bought my Xbox, I brought it to the counter. This was years and years and years ago. And I handed him the money, and the guy at the counter said, whoa now, this is enough money, but there's one more thing you gotta do for us. You see, Xbox has a policy. They refuse to serve the female demographic. So we have to make sure that you're actually a boy because, you know, video games are just for boys and all. So go ahead and undo your pants there. Holy shit, that's big. And that's how I got my first Xbox. Oh yeah, that's right. That didn't happen. I remember that actually didn't happen because, Adam, you're an idiot trying to push the narrative that gamers hate women and don't think women should be part of gaming. First off, that kind of discrimination is illegal. You can't just refuse to serve women because they're women, Adam. And you see, they're not refusing to serve anybody. It's an Xbox. It doesn't refuse to obey. If you sit down with it, it's not like you turn it on and you have to stick your cock into the controller and give it a couple strokes before it'll turn on. No, you turn it on and it works. It plays for anybody. It will work for everyone who wants to play it. In any event, I tweeted to Phil Spencer. I said, hey, Adam Ruins Everything said that the Xbox One refuses to serve women. So if I can get your thoughts on that, hopefully he will reply to me soon, and if he does, I will add an addendum to the description. Because I'm pretty sure that an Xbox and a PlayStation will work just as well for women as it does for men, in that they would happily sell an Xbox to a woman just as much as they would happily sell it to a man. Or maybe they just understand the demographics of who buys what. Candy Crush Saga is 60% female, but if you go to Call of Duty, You know, a gamer game, it's 92% male, not because females can't do it. They just, for the most part, by and large, prefer to play other games. Like, for instance, Bejeweled Blitz, which is 78.26% female. I mean, it is just kind of shocking how you would insinuate that Sony and Microsoft, these big multi-million-dollar mega corporations that make games, don't have marketing teams. They don't go out and analyze demographics. I guess you think that it's like the Guardian article said, the gaming industry just doesn't know about them. Well, that's a load of bollocks, isn't it, Adam?
We're talking millions of women who would love to play more games, but are being pushed away from the hobby by weird, old-fashioned marketing that publishers are sticking with, seemingly out of sheer force of habit.
Force of habit.
No, it's not a force of habit, Adam. It's not a force of habit. Have you seen how much these companies are making? They are rolling in the dough. They are doing what works. They have no reason to change what works. Anybody who sees these commercials will buy them if they really want them. Okay? These companies are making so much money, they have no reason to change what their strategy is right now. We live in a climate for gaming where anyone can enjoy it. Companies know this. They know that even if they market to men, women will buy it too.
Wow, who's doing that? Why are you hurting me, Megan?
Because I'm mad at you.
You're a black woman, you're always mad.
I like games. I've always liked them.
Yeah, you were just playing one.
It's just sometimes I feel like they don't love me back. You act like I'm not supposed to play them or something just because you listen to all these stupid ads.
Holy shit, Strawman, thy god is Adam ruins everything. I mean, what time in that video was the kid saying that women aren't allowed to play video games or that he didn't want women to play video games? At what point in this little skit thing did the little kid say that or even imply that? Nobody says this, Adam. Nobody says this.
Jake, video games are the greatest new art form of the century. They can do anything. Saying they're for just one gender is ridiculous.
Yeah, that's kind of why nobody says that, Adam. Couldn't help but notice you never showed any statistics here of gamers who think that Holy shit. I got to this point in the video and I realized there's no statistic that he ever listed, there's no poll, there's no study he ever mentioned that actually asked gamers. That makes sense, though. If he did, then this episode wouldn't have been made, would it? I mean, you'd think he would have started off the episode by saying, here's a poll taken of gamers, and all these gamers say that women should stay away. Games aren't for them.
Yeah, it's like saying movies are just for girls or books are just for dads.
Wait, books are just for dads?
Stupid.
When we think about video games in such a limited way,
Oh, fuck. Do you see this shit? He's going across the table to be on her side, to talk down to the kid for nothing. They've both officially strawmanned this little kid who just wants to play video games. He doesn't care about the genders of whoever he's playing with. He just wants to have fun playing video games. And Adam goes on her side, and they're both talking down to him, making him feel like a piece of shit.
Stupid.
When we think about video games in such a limited way, it makes the games worse.
Wait, how does it make the games worse?
Loses the industry money and...
Well, in the UK, women are spending £400,000 a day on Candy Crush. I think the industry's going to be okay. And if the industry was losing out on this, then they wouldn't have... Oh, wait, that's right. There's a whole variety of games marketed to a whole massive group of different people, because even on consoles, there are more casual games tiered to families and more casual audiences, aren't there, Adam? Aren't there, Adam? Aren't there, Adam?
It's really mean to your sister.
Just wait, he'll burn out in about 3 minutes.
Yeah, I've seen this before.
Really, Adam? That's weird because I thought it was pretty hard to see a straw man, at least in the metaphysical sense of the word. How about instead you go and fuck yourself, Adam? Because this is a joke. This little skit you do, this little skit show you do, it's a joke. Especially this one. It is a joke. And all of gamers are the butts of the joke. Oh no, of course not. Not the women. The women aren't the joke. It's the men. Because I guess gamers just think... I don't even know. I don't even know what to say at this point. I've spent a lot of time with this video. I'm looking up stats. I'm cropping. I'm putting this in. I mean, God knows how many minutes we're at for a 4-minute video. I just get sick of having these... Look, I get sick of being told I'm racist because I'm white, transphobic because I'm cisgendered. I get sick of being told I'm this nerdy loser with anger issues because I'm a gamer. I get sick and tired of other people who are on the outside looking in telling me what I am. 2.2 million people have seen this, have seen you put out the idea that men don't want women to play games. Not even that, but men think that games are not for women. What a joke, Adam. Games are for everybody. Maybe you would learn this if if you maybe asked gamers, instead of spending all this time and all this money and all this budget on these little skits with the graphics and the actors and making this big spiel about it, maybe you should have started off by saying, let's check and see if our assertion is even true. But no, we couldn't do that, because then we would learn that gamers are pretty goddamn tolerant. And that just doesn't fit our narrative, does it?
We haven't given. Come on. Fucking Reinhardt's shield's going down.
Brian, you need to hop up in the air and start shooting them in the back. Seriously.
I know. Fuck. I'm gonna take down Reinhardt's shield.
Damn it. I always get fucking.
He gone.
Nice.
Okay.
I couldn't kill the Lucio because of the god mode.
No farm zone.
No! Yes!
We did it.
Yes, we got it. Fuck!
Yes!
Oh!